Hey guys, welcome to the Raghu Reddy Show, the number one show for financial advisors. On this episode, I have an awesome guest, and her name is Shella Buit. Shella, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raghu. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Fantastic to have you. So, where are you located, Shella?
I am from the Philippines.
Very good, fantastic, fantastic. So, what do you do, Shella?
Oh, specialize in helping working professionals and business owners protect their income, protect their wealth, grow their wealth, and fund their children's education, and also to plan for their early retirement. So my goal is to make sure they feel confident about where they are today and also building a strong financial foundation for the future.
Wow, that's fantastic. You're doing such an awesome job. Really great. Well, wow, fantastic, fantastic. So, what made you come into this awesome field?
Oh, that's a good question, Raghu. So back in 2022, when I moved to a new job, I started earning more and more than I ever had before. So as the eldest in my family, I naturally took on more responsibility for our household expenses. And I'm very close to my family. They are my biggest why, actually. And I remember constantly thinking, what if something happens to me? Will they still be able to live the way we do now? And will they be okay if my share of the income suddenly disappears? And I also saw around me, some of the families, they had not planned for this financial risk and they faced it, they were not prepared and they ended up losing everything. And I don't want that to happen to me. So those questions really stayed with me and I realized I needed to be more intentional about my finances, not just earning more, but making sure I was growing it and protecting it. I started exploring different financial tools, Raghu, and that's when I came across life insurance. Around that, yeah, around that same time, the financial advisor I work with today reached out to me, and it honestly felt like perfect timing. You know, when we sat down and talked, I was surprised by how little I knew about financial risk and how unprepared I actually was. And the conversation opened my eyes. Eventually, I got my own plan in place, and it gave me so much peace of mind. After that, I asked him, how can I do what you do? I realized that I didn't just want to secure my own family's future. I wanted to help more Filipino families to do the same. Because financial education here isn't something we are really taught in school. And many people still don't fully understand how insurance and financial protection work. And I want to be part of changing that. I want to help people build a strong financial foundation, protect what they work so hard for, and avoid financial distress in the future. So for me, it's not just a career, Raghu, it's something personal.
Wow, that's really awesome. Yeah, rightly said. You know, most of us assume that we know the financial risk and we have taken care of it, but the truth of the matter is most of us have missed a lot of blind spots. Really awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so awesome, awesome. Like you're really doing a great job. Fantastic. So Shala, whenever you face the setback, I'm sure you did face a lot of setbacks in life, right? And especially when you came into this business. So how do you overcome that setback? So what are your big whys that keeps you driving forward in spite of the setbacks?
So as the eldest in my family, like what I've said, I've always felt a deep sense of responsibility. So when challenges come, whether financial pressure, career uncertainty, or personal struggles, I always remind myself that it's not just about me. My biggest why is my family. I want to be someone they can rely on, someone who plans ahead and doesn't give up when things get hard. So there were moments when I felt overwhelmed, especially when I was just adjusting to bigger responsibilities and higher expectations from myself. But instead of seeing setbacks as failures, Raghu, I choose to see them as lessons. I ask myself, what is this teaching me? How can this make me better? So that mindset helped me grow stronger, more disciplined. And another big why for me is the desire to create stability. So not just temporary success, but long-term security. I don't want to live reactively. I want to live intentionally. So that's also why I'm passionate about financial planning. I've experienced what it's like to worry about the what ifs, and I don't want other families to feel unprepared. So whenever I face setbacks, I remind myself, Raghu, I'm doing this for something bigger than myself, my family, my future clients, and the kind of legacy I want to leave to those. So those are the reasons, I keep going.
Wow, that's really awesome. So, what you said was you take a step back and you ask the right questions,
Yeah.
and then you remind yourself why you are here doing
Mhm.
what you do. That's really fantastic, fantastic, really
Yeah.
awesome. You see, as part of this financial planning and part of the solutions that you provide, insurance is just one of the products that you use.
Yeah.
And when people hear about the word insurance, what sort of reaction are you getting, and what do you think about that?
Good question, Raghu. Honestly, when people hear the word insurance, the first reaction is usually hesitation. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's doubt, and sometimes they immediately think it's expensive. I'm too young for that. Or even I don't need that right now. So they said things like that. For many, insurance is associated with debt or something negative. So it's not a very comfortable topic to talk about. And others see it as an extra expense rather than a financial tool. And I understand that reaction because I used to think the same way before I became more financially aware. But what I've realized and what I help my clients understand is that insurance is really about love and responsibility. It's about protecting the people who depend on you. No, it's not about expecting something bad to happen. It's about being prepared just in case it does. So instead of pushing the product, I focus on educating first. So when people understand how insurance works and how it fits into their financial plans, their perspective usually shifts and it becomes less about fear and more about security, peace of mind, and of course, long-term planning.
That's right. That's right. Really, really awesome. Yeah, rightly said. You know, most people think that it's an expense, and
Yes,
they don't realize that it's actually it acts like a painkiller. If something happens, unforeseen events happen, it can act as a painkiller as well, right? And
that's
where
true.
they get
Yeah.
a check into their hand, and when the claim is done, and they are able to relieve that financial
Mhm.
burden, right? Yeah, very good, fantastic, fantastic. As I was saying, most people think that, if I buy insurance, it's an expense. What are your thoughts on that?
Hmm. So I think most people see insurance as an expense or even a waste of money because they don't immediately see the return from it, right? Unlike investments where you can track the growth. Insurance is something you hope you'll never have to use. So for many, it feels like they're paying for nothing, right? So another reason is lack of financial education. We're not really taught in school how risk management works or how protection is a foundation of financial planning. So when people hear about insurance, they don't fully understand its purpose without understanding the risk of losing income, getting sick or passing away unexpectedly. It's easy to underestimate the value of protection. There's also trust. Yeah, some people have heard negative stories or had bad experiences, so they become skeptical. And honestly, sometimes it's because the product was sold to them without proper explanation. So they were sold a policy, not educated about a solution. So that's why I believe my role is not just to sell, but to educate. And when people understand that insurance is not about spending money, but about protecting everything they've worked hard for, their mindset shifts and it becomes less about expense and more about financial responsibility and love for their family.
You see, that's one aspect of insurance, right?
Mm-mm.
Protection. But
Yeah,
what about the other aspect? Like it is used as an investment product.
investment, yes. So many people wanted to, grow their money without them doing anything. So I wanted also to teach them that it's possible with just using the right tool, and with having the right financial plan. And of course, you need to protect your income before you go to higher investments or diverse your portfolios.
So, how can you use insurance for investments, or like children's education funding or retirement planning?
So there are a lot of because like what I've said, they only see insurance like for death benefit. That's it. But there's a lot of policies that we have like for children's education. We also have this if they want to save money for the college fund, we have life insurances with educational fund feature. So there are savings feature in it. So it's like a forced saving for them, because sometimes they will say, okay, I will save for my kids' education, but they don't have the right system or the right process for that. So life insurance or insurance helps them to, force save money for their children's education. So that's one example.
What about retirement planning?
So for retirement planning, there's also a lot of policies that have like investment component in it, and you can use it as a retirement plan as long as you should make sure, of course, when you invest, it depends on the market. So there are highs and lows. So it's really good to have insurance because we have fund managers to do it for you. So if you don't have knowledge in investments, doing stocks, trading and all, we have the fund manager that's going to do it for you, and we just need to like track it or monitor it, and that's it.
So what you're saying is that insurance product can be also used for not only retirement planning, but also it could be used for generational wealth building, right?
Yes, correct.
Wow, that's fantastic, fantastic. So Shala, as an expert, what do you think people would want to do to take care of their financial risks?
So from my experience, most people genuinely want security and peace of mind. They want to know that no matter what happens, whether it's an emergency, illness, or unexpected life event, they and their families will be okay. Deep down, people want three things. So first, they want stability. They want to build savings, eliminate debt, and have strong financial foundation. And second, they want growth. They want their money to work for them through the right investments and long-term strategies. And lastly, they want protection because they understand that everything they are building can be affected by risk. And if it's not properly secured, it can wipe out all of their savings and
Right,
investments and
right.
all. So the challenge is not the people don't care about their future. It's usually that they don't know where to start or they feel overwhelmed. And that's where I come in. As a financial advisor, my role is to simplify the process, help them prioritize, and guide them step by step. And from building the foundation to protecting it to growing it, and at the end of the day, securing financial future is about being intentional, like what I've said earlier. So it's about making decisions today that your future self and your family will thank you for.
Right, awesome. Right, right. Rightly said. Fantastic, fantastic. So everyone should, take care of their financial risk to whatever extent possible,
Mhm.
depending on the, position they are in the and their current status. So that's where you come in and educate them how to take care of this financial risk. That's really awesome. Fantastic, fantastic. So Shala, what are you doing to face the future challenges so that you can help your clients better?
I believe that if I want to serve my clients better, I have to continuously improve myself first. That's always my mindset. So the financial industry is always evolving and clients' needs also change over time. It's not one size fits all. So I make it a priority to keep learning, whether that's attending trainings, studying market trends, or deepening my understanding of financial planning and risk management, where I also work on improving my communication skills, Raghu. I've realized that being knowledgeable is important, but being able to explain complex concepts in a simple and relatable way is even more important because not everyone like understands complicated things, right? So my goal is for clients to truly understand their plans and not just sign documents. So another thing I focus on buildings is stronger relationships. I don't want to just be the advisor they talk to once a year. I want to be someone they can approach whenever they have questions or life changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure I stay connected and proactive. And personally, I make sure my own finances are in order. I believe I can serve with more confidence when I practice what I teach. And at the end of the day, facing future challenges means staying prepared, staying educated, and staying committed to genuinely helping people secure their financial future.
Well, that's really great. Fantastic, fantastic. So, Shella, what's your vision for the future?
Hmm. My vision for the future, I want to become a trusted and credible financial advisor. Someone people don't just see as a salesperson, but as a long-term partner in building their financial future. I want to continuously grow in knowledge, character, leadership, so I can serve at a higher level every year. And for my business, I see it becoming more than just hitting targets or numbers. I envision building a practice that's rooted in education, integrity, and genuine care. I want my clients to feel secure, informed, and empowered when making financial decisions. And long term, I also see myself mentoring and developing other advisors who share the same mission to raise financial awareness, especially among Filipino families who were never taught how to properly manage, protect, and grow their money. So if I can create a ripple effect where my clients become financially confident and future advisors are inspired to serve with purpose, then I know I'm building something meaningful. And ultimately, my vision is simple, Raghu, to build a legacy of financial literacy, protection, generational wealth, and starting with my own family and extending to every family I have the opportunity to serve.
Wow, really fantastic vision you have there. Well, fantastic. Really keep that up. Fantastic, fantastic. So, Shella, what advice would you give to a newcomer to this awesome field?
Wow. So if I were to give advice to a newcomer in this field, I would say focus first on your purpose, not just the income. Because this career can be very rewarding, but it also requires patience, resilience, and heart. If your main goal is only commission, it will be hard to stay here longer. So in long term, I mean. So, but if your goal is to genuinely help families secure their future, that purpose will carry you through the challenges. And I think second, commit to continuous learning. So don't just memorize products. Understand financial planning as a whole. So learn about risk management, investments, budgeting, so things like that. Because the more knowledgeable you are, the more confident you'll be when speaking with clients. And third, build trust before you build your sales. Listen more than you talk. So every client has a unique story. They have unique responsibility, they have unique concerns. So when people feel heard and understood, they are more open to guidance. So yeah. And I think lastly, take care of your own finances. Like what I've said earlier, practice what you preach. So when you personally believe in the value of protection and planning, it shows in the way you speak and serve. So because this field is not just about selling insurance, it's about building relationships, creating impact, and helping families avoid financial distress. And if you stay consistent, keep learning, and lead with integrity, you'll build not just a career, but I think a meaningful one.
Well, that's a fantastic advice there. Really awesome, awesome advice, Shella, to the
Mhm.
newcomers. Fantastic. So, Shella, if someone is interested in getting your services, how they can reach out to you?
So the easiest way someone can get in touch with me is either through email or by sending me a message through my social media platforms. So from there, we can schedule a quick call or a virtual meeting, whichever is more convenient for them. So I usually start with free consultation, which is just a relaxed conversation. So where I listen to their goals, concerns, and current financial situation. And there's no pressure, just clarity. And after that, I can guide them step by step on how to build, protect, and grow their finances in a way that fits their life.
So, which social media platforms do you use?
Oh, I have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So they can reach me through that.
Okay, so they can reach out on any one of these
Yeah,
platforms:
yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, or
Instagram and LinkedIn.
and LinkedIn as well. Okay,
Correct, yeah.
fantastic, fantastic. So, Shala, it was wonderful talking to you, learning about your journey in this awesome field, learning about your story of why you do what you do, and how you're making a big impact in the lives of people. So, continue to do that awesome work, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Raghu. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.